Good morning. I'm here at the old Trinity Church in Church Creek, Maryland. The address is actually 1716 Taylor's Island Road. I'm reading from my notes here because I wouldn't have known that without it. So, thought we'd do a little walk through here. This is the oldest church in America. It was built, I don't know, I'm kind of a little confused on some of the documentation, sometime between 1675 and 1692. I'm not sure if one was when it was built and one when it was first held services or not, but somewhere in that general area. But it is the oldest church in America. It sits right on a creek, and that creek is called Church Creek. I learned something about that. There's a little town here, not very big at all. It's also called Church Creek, so everything's kind of running in uniform there. I'm starting here right at the entrance. There's a little documentation here. I got a little bit of a glare. The sun's a little bright this morning. I'm not sure how this is going to show up. It says, walk the old Trinity Heritage Trail, and it gives some documentation here. I think there was a Governor Carroll was buried here, and his daughter here. There's some documentation on her as well. The Dorchester Parish here. It says built by English colonists on land patent in 1675 to Henry Aldridge, a former indentured servant. Old Trinity Church is one of the oldest church buildings in the United States still used for regular worship. While the exact date of construction is unknown, the church was already standing in 1692 when Dorchester Parish was officially named. Sited on Church Creek, the parish church underwent restorations in the 1850s and again a century later. The first reconstruction conformed to medieval Gothic. Windows received pointed arches, and box pews and high pulpit were removed. All right, there's a right there as you come into main entrance area by the parking lot. Kind of gives you a layout of what's happening here, where to walk at, and here's a on the governor's daughter that's also buried here, Anna Carroll. Here's the big right up here. I'm so close here. Anna Carroll, sometimes called an unofficial member of Abraham Lincoln's cabinet, is buried in Old Trinity Church graveyard. Carroll, born on Maryland's eastern shore in 1815, remains an enigma, but there is no question that she refused to stay within the societal boundaries that limited the roles of 19th century women. Before the Civil War, a wealthy slave-owning daughter of a Maryland governor helped manage her father's estate and also worked as a publicist. There's much more that goes on to say there. If you'd like to read that, I'm not going to read all that to you. I don't want to bore you with that. All right, we're just going to walk over here. Right here, where's the parking lot here. There's the hall here, and there's an entrance right here. If you're into old churches, this will be the thing for you. All right, you can see some of the there's usually some literature here. There are a few pamphlets here as you come in. It says a little bit here. The church was built prior to 1690 in the graveyard. Are buried Governor Thomas King Carroll, many revolutionary heroes, and other distinguished Marylanders. All right, we're going to work our way over to the church. Here they have an old brick walkway here for you. This is still an active graveyard. There's some newer sections here. I'm looking at some of the names here. I can see some old Dorchester County names. There's one right here, Rippins. That's an old Dorchester County name, Lower Dorchester County. A lot of the names here in Lower Dorchester County is they've been around here for a long time, and they're still around, a lot of them. As a little boy, I've never lived here. I live about an hour from here. As a little boy, though, I had some relatives that lived down this way, and I remember coming by here many times as a little boy. Even though most of them people are no longer with us, I still have a few relatives scattered here and about down here. There's another old Dorchester named Linthicum. You can hear the crow in the background. You can hear a pin drop. There's no breeze here today at all, right on the creek here. Crow, he has something to say. Looks like there's been a little remodeling done, as I read earlier. You can't go in, the doors are locked, but it is, they have service here every Sunday. We'll walk around here. I say it has a brick pathway. A lot of big trees in here. Walking around. I think I ran out of pathway here. I'm off the pathway. I've been around the other side. Just to give you an idea here of the building, the back of it. Trying not to trip over some of the stones here. You can see the building and the windows, how they were built in the back of the church here. Some ruts and potholes here, so my camera might be moving around a little bit. I'm trying not to fall over. You can see the windows got the green hue to them. If you were to get up real close on them. Walking down here a little bit, right on the creek here. I believe this little building here, I think they called it the Vest House. I believe, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Vestal House? Vesting House, okay. I'm not even real sure what that is, but you can tell it's really old as well. I don't know if it's part of the original structure. It was added another time. I didn't see any documentation on it. Maybe somebody else would know more about that than I would. But it does have the walkway here to it. Doesn't seem to really be used for much of anything. This one also has the glass and the green hue. You can hopefully see that in the video, how the windows, I'm sure it was part of the remodel. You see the old chimney there on it. As you can see, like we're right on the creek here, Church Creek. Right there, part of the town, Church Creek. Church Creek, the town itself is just, I don't know, a few miles outside of Cambridge, Maryland. And we're probably, it's on Taylor's Island Road, so we're a few miles outside of Cambridge. We're probably, I'm just going to guess, 6-8 miles from Taylor's Island. That's just a guess. I don't know that off the top of my head. Some houses there, very quiet, peaceful here. There's actually a boat ramp, and we'll take a little bit closer look at that in just a second. It actually comes up here to the graveyard. I guess if you're out taking a ride and you'd like to take a break, I guess. Some houses here. Right on the water on the other side of the creek here. Trying to go back over this way. Let me get back up on the wall. We've had a little rain the last few days, so the ground's a little soft. If you know anything about lower Dorchester County, the ground always seems to be a little soft anyhow. Walk over here. Try to go into some of the older graves here. They're kind of scattered here and about. See, there's some of them that are unreadable here. I'm getting on the wrong side of some of them. I must be on the back side. Some of these names here. The sun is not helping me today. The way I'm walking currently, it's right in my face, so it makes it really hard for me to see the stones. A lot of them have a lot of moss and stuff on them. Maybe I'll get to be able to read a few of the names here on a few of the older ones I get situated here. Let's see what we got here. Who do we have here? All right. Looks like we have Sanders. In memory of Sarah M., beloved wife of John A. Sanders. Died July 22nd, 1876, in her 34th year of her life. Here's some older graves back here. Let's see. As we're coming up on the main road as you come in here, we work through the other way, kind of the main road as you come in. I'm curious about these bandits back here. Who is this? Looks like a whole family back here in this corner. They're kind of buried. The stones are really close together for some reason. Looks like the Wolford family. Wolford is a little area, a little town. Not really a town, it's a little area right up the road as well. So I'm sure they're descendants of the founders of that area. And this one I really take very curious about. This one here has a marker, the War of 1812. So evidently he was a veteran of the War of 1812. I can't really see his name. It's Captain. I don't know if that says John Wolford. I'm not really positive. Maybe somebody can see it in the video better than I can see it with the sun in my face. The War of 1812. That's kind of a forgotten war, actually. About 30 years or so after the Revolutionary War, England decided they wanted to come to take us colonists back. So it was a big deal. This area down here was very prominent in the part of the War of the 1812. So it's kind of forgotten. Several years back, they had a reenactment down to Taylor's Island, part of the War of 1812, a battle of the Ice Mountain. I think I'm saying that correctly, my memory. It was very good. It went into great details, and they did a great job with it. Someone coming in, you hear a vehicle. See if we can work back on this other side, see if I can see some of the other old names. There's Brannock, the last name. That's an old Dorchester County name. There's some more. There's a Wolford. Trying to work through here. Watching my step here. not on the walk anymore, so I'm kind of trying to be careful where I'm going here. I'm trying to get back over here so you can see the other side of the church here. I've kind of gotten off track here. I'm coming up on the back of the old church now. Yeah, I see. I'm getting back to the walkway now. I was just trying to get over there, document some of those older graves that I could see. See, we're on the walkway here. We're on the other side by the creek now of the church, and you can see the windows here. You can see the green hue to them. Trying to scan up on the roof line here. I am not sure where that former governor is buried in here, but here's a Carroll family. Might be descendants of his. I'm not sure exactly where he's at. Here is the obelisk. Here, who is this gentleman? In memory of Thomas King Carroll, M.D., born in born at Kingston Hall, Somerset County, Maryland, August 31st, 1821. Died at his home at Walnut Landing in Dorchester County, Maryland, January, I believe that says 1800? 1900, I'm sorry, all the moth on it. Trying to work my way over to the other side here. There's some other people in here now, probably visiting some of the more recent burials. It is, as I said, it is an active cemetery. Continuing down the walk here, there's been a small plane that's flown over numerous times. This one, you probably hear it in the video. I don't know if you can see that. I got my camera on him. I don't know if you can pick him up in the video or not. Okay, do you know exactly where it is? Okay, we're gonna take a walk over here. Talking to my wife here. I wasn't talking to myself. This one here? Okay. Oh, okay, here we go. The lady that I documented it earlier, and the governor's daughter earlier, Anna Carroll. This is her grave here. She's right here by the boat dock here. She's close here, right here. She is buried right here. Somebody has a marker here. Awesome. Not sure where the governor is. Not sure. There's a whole Carroll family right here as well. So I'm not sure which one. Yeah, is that him? Oh, here he is, right here. Okay, here he is. He's right down. He was right down from her. He's also right here, close to the boat dock here. A former governor of Maryland. That is awesome. If that interests you to come down, I find the stuff very interesting. That's the reason I'm down here. This is currently being videoed the 2nd of January 2023. So a lot of the grass is dead and the vegetation. That's why you see it the way it is. But it's rather warm today for this time of year. It's close to 60 degrees, which is not, that's very unusual. That's very warm for this area this time of year. But I'll take it. Just working our way here. It looks like a little memorial of some sort. Sitting area. Somebody is set up here on the creek here. Want to sit and meditate, I guess, or pray. We'll walk up to it here. That way you can see the view from it. Looks like there's a little stone here. See what it says on it. Look at that view. As you would sit on these benches. What a great view. A lot of history in Dorchester County. What does that little stone say here? If I can see it. This place of contemplation is dedicated to S. Proctor Rogers, 1901-1984, who long admired the beauty and historic connection of church and river given by his son Kirk. Awesome. As you can see, all the vegetation, it looks like they've got the riprap here all around the border here, as you can see in the video as I go down. But you can also, so there's a low-lying area right here. You can see that when it's like we have a lot of rain or what have you come through, you can see it really comes up here. You can see right along there it comes up. So that's probably why nothing is here on this part of it. Give the tide room to do its thing. It is so quiet down here today. You can really hear those crows on the water. All right, we're going to work our way up this way, back behind the hall. A lot of big trees in here. As you can see, right on the river still as we're walking up behind the hall. These are some newer graves in general. There's a few older ones, I believe, scattered in. We're coming back up where we started from. You're probably about 5 or 6 miles. That's just a guess. I don't know that to be exact, from Route 50 as it goes through Cambridge, so it's not that far off the beaten path. If you're into this type of thing. Little bird talking. And we are kind of back where we started. I'll back up here a little bit and give you a view of the entrance, kind of by the hall. All right. I think that's going to do it for today.